Good. Here we go, baby. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Red Zone Blitz, the critically acclaimed, non-award-winning, 4-year running NFL podcast on YouTube. I'm Dave from Wake Up It's Football, alongside of Ezra from Idiot Sports Talk, and we're gonna jump right into things. Ezra, you ready to talk some football today, man?
Yes, I am. I'm also having a drink, so I might be more idiotic than usual.
I didn't realize you're on the opposite side today. There.
Yes, there's a reason for that, and I'll explain off camera. Okay, you know what? It's all right. You know what? Since I'm an open guy, my nephew's sleeping behind me, and I don't want you guys seeing him that he's knocked out on camera. So
well. Never mind. I was gonna just say, well, you would be blocking him with your son. Never mind.
Well, my ears?
Anyway, not with your ears. I was gonna say, well, if you're positioned in the way you normally are, you'd be covering them up anyway. So, no.
No. Look, I'll show you a real a flash. Boom, knocked out. Boom, there you go. That was real quick. Snippet.
I can't see anything.
That's fine.
I'm just saying because the chat is kind of taking you over. It's kind of big right now.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. It's okay. I'm not the star of the show. The guys that come to this show every week, Super Hippo, Bird Gang, Jason, everyone, etc., are the stars of the show. We come here. We do this every week for these guys. So, yes, they can take over the screen because this show belongs to them, and we have a blast doing this.
For the record, for those wondering, the fantasy football league is full. Was full pretty much from the beginning.
Who was the last one to sign up?
Bird Gang was the last one.
Oh, I thought I was.
Bird Gang, not you.
Bird Gang wants to steal my shine. Why is he trying to steal my shine for? I was holding out. I'm not supposed to sign for him.
A couple comments and questions so far from you guys before we dive into things. Ezra and Dave, did you guys catch any of the ESPN Fantasy Football Marathon? That comes from Super Hippo. I watched a little bit. Actually, I think we're going to hit a little bit on it later, but I watched very briefly.
It was 28 hours, right? 28 hours straight of fantasy football talk on ESPN.
Yep. Which is a long time to be doing that, but I don't know. I thought it was all right. I mean, I'm not an enormous fantasy football fan for me to sit down and just absolutely just be indulged in the whole thing. But,
yeah. To be honest, I don't turn on ESPN. I don't turn on any sports network since the inception, basically, of Twitter. I've stated this plenty of times on Red Zone Blitz. My consumption of sports media or on information is mostly now on Twitter. I get most of my statistics. Yeah, I go to ESPN websites. I read a lot of articles, but when it comes to television, I don't watch much television, and that includes ESPN. Besides, obviously, if it's a game, if it's Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, etc., that's the only time I turn on my TV. My cable box will be unplugged all those months until football is on its way. So that's just the way I am.
Once Zachification, David, once you become the owner of the Packers, will you still do the Red Zone Blitz? Well, the thing is, the Packers don't have an owner. So
there's shares a share. Well, you could become a majority shareholder, right?
Nah, it still doesn't. It's not how it works.
Well, if you have the most shares, off camera, you know something about the market because you work in that field. Wouldn't you be able to put yourself on the board if you're the majority shareholder?
I don't think so, because I think the shares for the Green Bay Packers aren't like shares for a company, a publicly sold company. The shares aren't the same. Pretty much the shares that you would own as a Packer fan are essentially worthless. But you would pay $100 for a piece of paper that says you're a shareholder, which says that you invested money into the team,
Well, no.
But
You can
once you
sell.
buy
You can sell your share, can't you?
no, I don't. I mean, you could sell it for somebody who's not probably going to pay $100 for it.
There's
It's
plenty of
not the
people.
same as a publicly. I don't know. It's not the same. That's all I know. It's not the same, and people don't really have a say in the decision-making side of things. So,
Someone's
anyway,
making some decisions. I'm telling you that right now. There's always somebody making a decision, David.
I know.
We want you to be that guy, David. That's why. We want you to become the Packers owner. And, hopefully I get some nice seats on the house once in a while. When I come down to Wisconsin, you hook me up with a skybox for a day. That's all I'm saying. You would invite Zach because he put the idea in your head. So, we invite everybody from the Red Zone Blitz. We'll have a blast on David when he becomes majority owner of the Packers.
One day.
And that better include alcohol because
yeah, one day we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Anyway, let's jump into the show. First topic at hand today: the Buffalo Bills going into this preseason. I mean, between the ending of the draft and the beginning of this preseason, this team looked like they were poised to potentially make some kind of a run, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They looked like a team that had the pieces in place. Now, the Buffalo Bills are a team who have seen a lot of players get suspended in the last couple of weeks, and even as early as late July. So my question to kind of start the show is, how is this team going to answer for all these suspensions that the league has given their players? Marcel Darius got popped for 4 games due to missing a drug test. Manny Lawson is facing a 1-game suspension for violating the league's policy on domestic violence. Now, for domestic violence abusers, those players, according to league policy, have to miss 6 games for first-time offenses. So for whatever reason, Manny Lawson's only missing 1 game. Carlos Williams was a player who got suspended in late July, and he's going to be serving a 4-game suspension for violating the league's substance abuse policy as well. This team could also be facing $250K in fines for all these suspensions. So, as a GM of the Buffalo Bills, maybe even Rex Ryan, you got to be pulling your hair out with all these suspensions. What do you do? How do you answer? How do you fill all these holes? And then, not to mention, Reggie Ragland's going to miss the season with his torn ACL.
There's only one way you could do it, is ask your def to actually step up. This is your opportunity. You don't get many chances when it comes to professional sports. And if you're the backup guy, this is your chance to shine, to show your worth, and show how valuable you could be to a team. And rare occasion, some of these guys that come out of nowhere steal the spotlight, steal, the starting position. The most famous one is Tom Brady of all time. Am I right? He was the backup quarterback. Drew Bledsoe, $100 million quarterback, goes down. He comes in and steals the job and becomes, he's a Hall of Famer now, one of the all-time greats, etc. They just got to step up. And obviously, this is a big buzzkill if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. If you're a Jets fan like me, oh, yes. But it does suck that they're missing probably, the guy that they gave a huge contract to, Narius, he's their star, the defensive side of the ball. Their front line is supposed to be the cream of the crop, and that's a big loss. So, they just got to step up.
It is a big loss, especially with Marcel Darius up front. 4 games is a lot, and the GM is catching a lot of flack for giving him that $100+ million deal last year, because putting so much money into a player who's had off the field issues previously, especially with marijuana and things like that, you kind of have to question the decision making by Doug Whaley in Buffalo, and giving a player that much money. I'm assuming they thought that Marcel Darius got over that hump of somewhat of being an immature player, to becoming a dominant player on the field. But now you have to understand that you have a responsibility regardless of whether you did or did not smoke marijuana, regardless of whether you did or did not put a foreign substance into your body, you still have to show up for those drug tests. And that's one of those things where, it's a responsibility thing. And Marcel Darius did not fulfill that for his team. And now he cost his team.
These three guys didn't fulfill their, you got –
Correct. But of those three, Marcel Darius is the most talented and the most impactful.
Yeah, he's the most paid on the team. He's supposed to be the leader, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Especially all those big bucks that he's getting to lead the way. It's just a tough, situation that they have to start the year with. If they go 2-2, I guess you could ride the ship. But these are the kind of things that can make you miss the playoffs, especially a team that's on the bubble. They went 8-8 last year. 1 or 2 games can be very critical to getting that wild card spot or that division for the Bills, especially the AFC East is no joke. It's no cakewalk. Maybe for the Patriots a little bit, but even then they got to face these first 4 games without Tom Brady, but that's a separate subject, a different day. And that could be their saving grace towards this division, right? Tom Brady's out for the first 4 games, and most of their guys are going to be missing those first 4 games. But this is the time you should have took advantage of the Patriots' mishaps, and now you can't. So hopefully my Jets can.
Do you think Rex Ryan is now on the hot seat in Buffalo?
Going to 8-8 the first year and all the expectations they had, I think he's already on the hot seat. I do. Because you had one of the top 5 defenses before Rex Ryan gets there, and one of the front lines. And last year they took a step back in terms of getting towards the quarterback, and their defense took a step back. Not a huge step back, but it wasn't what they expected. So, yes, I do believe they're in a hot seat because their defense, which is supposed to be his cream of the crop, has not lived up to their expectations.
I'm just trying to get a quality check from the guys in the chat down below, make sure we're not lagging or we're not fuzzy or choppy or things like that. See if we can fix that, because on my end, I'm seeing Ezra is really choppy this whole time. It's just cutting in and out. So I'm just making sure everyone so far is saying it's good. So that's good. That's what I'd like to hear. The Buffalo Bills are always an interesting story, especially the last couple of years, because I've seen the talent that they've been able to acquire, especially again on defense. And not to mention now they did sign Tyrod Taylor to an interesting deal. It's more of a $9 million deal for this season, and they can still get out of that contract with Tyrod after the season ends, depending on how he produces for them this year. So it's kind of a win-win for the Buffalo Bills in that respect. But it's more of the guys they've been able to bring in and even draft on the defensive side of the ball. Some of the corners could be top 10 tandem, but they're slipping in my mind right now. Gilmore, they're trying to extend. Nickel Roby at nickel, and then
didn't they have a rookie cornerback last year that had a big year?
That's what I'm trying to think of, and I can't think of his name.
Isn't it something more?
No.
Darby.
Goodness gracious. Darby, there it is. Darby. Ronald Darby played really well for them as a rookie. I think he finished either second or third in the defensive rookie of the year voting. So
they gave away a lot. They gave away a lot of extensions last year. Remember that. They redid their running back. I can't LaShawn McCoy. They redid his contract. Yeah, a few guys on the D line, and now this year with their quarterback. So they believe they have the talent to compete. They have to translate it to the field. They got to translate it to wins. They got to translate it to playoff appearances. So yeah, Rex Ryan, that front office, is on the hot seat.
They definitely have to step it up, and I'm interested to see what happens to Rex Ryan after this season? Because I know once upon a time he was your guy.
Yes, he was, and I respected him a whole lot. But the situations that he's in right now, like I said, when the defense was a top 5, and then you take a step back, people are going to look at, hey, isn't this what how you make your money in this league? How you became a head coach, and if you're taking a step back with the defense, excuse me,
I was going to say if anything, it might save his job. If the GM looks at it in the perspective of, well, we just lost player X, Y, and Z due to injury and suspension.
Now,
there's only so much the head coach.
That's what we would think, but a lot of management are like, well, you also you're also supposed to develop the guys backing him up. They're supposed to be depth. You're supposed to, have this. You're supposed to be the X and O's genius, and for 4 games, you should be able to make that up because coaches do, even though a lot of times they are overrated. In football, I think they have the most. What do I want to say? The most effect when it comes to terms of the field play. So Rex Ryan, he's got to do his thing the first 4 games. If they, show some of that top 5, top 10 defense the first 4 games, maybe they'll go into account of the GM. But he's got to make the playoffs, okay? At the end of the year, that's what they care about. Did we go to the playoffs or not? And that's what the expectations are. Imagine you go 7-9. Imagine you go 7-9, 8-8. Imagine you go 7-9, 8-8, third place in the division when Tom Brady missed 4 games. People are going to be like, there was no excuse that we didn't do anything those first 4 games. So what? Our guy was suspended. So was Tom Brady. This was your chance to still take advantage of that situation.
I don't mean to deviate from that thought, but that's also assuming Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play well. If he plays well, we could be having a different conversation in about 5 to 6 weeks.
Well, if he plays well, I don't think people are going to believe that Jimmy G is going to play bad, but is he going to be Tom Brady? Obviously, we've seen the Patriots go 11-5 a whole year without Tom Brady. They're very capable, and now he's a journeyman, okay, with Matt Castle. So I think you can't sleep on the Patriots and their game planning, and I think they'll be successful, and they're going to be a tough challenge without Tom Brady. But you still got to take advantage of this situation. It's not Tom Brady in the end. Matt Castle went 11-5, but he's not Tom Brady. You should have took advantage of that situation.
Next topic. Got the Eagles trade for Dorial Green-Beckham from the Tennessee Titans. And to me, it was a very surprising move. I was actually a little shocked by it. Now, reports are stating that the wide receivers in the Eagles camp, Nelson Aguilar, Ruben Randall, Chris Givens, those guys are struggling in camp. Dorial Green-Beckham was not making his presence felt with the Tennessee Titans, and the coaching staff decided to part ways with Dorial Green-Beckham only after only one preseason game. Now, the Titans coach Mike Mularkey stated that Dorial Green-Beckham's performance is still inconsistent after their first preseason game, which was on last Saturday. Now, can Dorial Green-Beckham flourish in Philadelphia at the wide receiver position with some of the question marks that they have right now overall at the position for the Eagles?
I think they can. It's not like they're weak at the wide receiver position, so it's not like he's going to be getting doubled. Can he get on the field with the Eagles? To be honest, I think he'll be able to be he could be a 2 on that team, high end on the Eagles. I think Jordan Matthews is the number 1 guy. But, why not? It's alarming that you get, traded your second year, and there's reports that you're basically lazy on the practice side of the football field. So that's alarming, okay, that a team already gave up on you. And it's not like their new head coach wasn't on the coaching staff last year. He was there last year. So he's been seeing him for these 2 years now. And after one preseason game, they were ready to give you up. I don't know if that indicates his indictment on him, or they really needed help on that offensive line, that they went over to get a backup guard from the Eagles. So either way, it's an alarming situation for the Titans. You know, well, I guess we'll see what plays out. But I don't think you give up on a second-year, high-talented wide receiver. It's not like he's the one getting suspended for 6 games right now. Maybe he's a pain in the neck. We don't know, behind the scenes. But it's just sad that they already gave up on him. And it's sad for Marcus Mariota. The man needs some talent. He needs some weapons. And you just got rid of one of his potential high-talented weapons.
I really like Dorial Green-Beckham. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, can run a 4.4. The talent is there, and if he wasn't suspended and had to transfer from Missouri to Oklahoma for the domestic violence issue that he had, I think the marijuana issue that he had, hands down, I think he could have been a top 5 pick and the first receiver taken in his draft class. Now, with that being said, I don't know if Tennessee made the right move for trading for, I think it was a backup swing tackle. Forget it. They didn't even really catch the guy's name. It was like John Sweeney or something. What I read was the Titans needed some depth on the O-line behind Jack Conklin and Taylor Lewan, which is fine. You can never have enough depth. But Dorial Green-Beckham, man, the talent I think outweighs the laziness or whatever they were going through with him. It's not like he was suspended. It's not like he was overweight. I think there's a chance that something
there's got to be something that we don't know. Maybe there's something behind the scenes, that we just don't know that he's doing, because you just can't give up on a guy, like you said, as talented as him, and especially when you don't have weapons. It's not like they have a luxury of wide receivers out there for Marcus Mariota to throw to. Like, you know what? This is a luxury we could live without. No, this is a definite need on this team, for this organization, and for your future quarterback to continue to grow, and you gave that up for a backup guard? Something ain't right. Ain't looking good. Something wrong with this chicken.
Yeah.
Contaminated.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't have done it.
No, I wouldn't have either. I thought the Eagles won that trade hands down.
And I wonder if this was an open market, because that's another thing is, don't you think that if this was an open market, the Titans would have got something more for him besides a backup guard? That's another thing too. What is the general manager doing? Not only that you traded this young guy in don't you think you would have got more for this?
Here's the thing though with the GM in Tennessee, because I commended what he did in the draft. Traded back to 15, got a whole lot of draft picks, ended up trading back up to get Jack Conklin from Michigan State to help anchor that line. I thought he moved around, did really well with some of the guys he went and got. Now, this move really surprised me, and I was like, well, I thought he was smart. What is he doing? So this goes back to you saying he's got to know something we don't about DGB, because from the talent perspective and the talent side of things, you don't really make a move like that unless something else is off. So as of right now, I'm saying the Eagles won based off of a talent perspective. Eagles win this trade. But if it comes out and the league is going to suspend him for a year or whatever for something that we don't know about yet, then maybe the Titans won this trade. So I think it's one of those wait and see type of things.
Well, we'll find out, man. I just feel like it's a joke. Yeah, you got to get Marcus Mariota some pieces to play with, man. Okay, whatever. The Titans suck. I don't care.
Let's head down to the to the FanDuel comment box, see what you guys are saying about DGB. DGB didn't look good or as good as I expected last year. That's from Sports Talk with Starkey. Zachification, 6'5", 440 time. Now, who does that remind you of? David. 6'5", 440, who does that remind me of? I don't know. Who's that tall? Is AJ Green that tall?
What is 5'6",
I don't know.
5'? I have no idea. Is it Perriman? Perriman is pretty big, right? Didn't he have a monster 40 also from the Ravens?
Yeah, but he didn't play.
He's a 6'5", ran a 4.4. Who does that remind you of? There's a lot of people. You could say Randy. Didn't Randy Moss run like a 4.3 though? Almost like a 4.3.
What's that?
Oh, he said Calvin Johnson.
He said Calvin Johnson.
But there's plenty of guys you could say. The Des Bryant that could remind you of Des Bryant. I think Randy Moss ran like a 4.3.
Just wait. You know what? If there truly isn't anything wrong with him and they just thought he was lazy and he just has a breakout year at some point, the Titans are going to look stupid. Trades happen in the past.
They won't be nothing new. They've been looking stupid for a long time. So,
right.
Okay. It is what it is. But when you finally have some, I can't believe I forgot what I wanted to say. But when you have some momentum on your side, roll with it. You got a potential franchise quarterback. Please help him out. Like if this backup guard, is going to be inserted as your starter, I guess I understand it a little bit more. But if he's just there to add depth, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, he's just there. He's a camp, not a camp body, but he's just there to be there. And he's saying, not DGB.
If he's a starter, I can understand it more because I understand one thing. The most important things in football is the offensive and defensive line. Those are the most important things in football, obviously outside of the quarterback.
Yes.
That's what I'll understand it more, but it's a big talent that you're giving up. And the next topic is...
Guys, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, keep in mind. Go ahead. You're the boss. You're the boss, David. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just keep in mind that throughout the week, you guys can hit us up on Twitter and Facebook at these things right here down in, I can't even do this right there. Throughout the week, you guys talk to us, football, trash talk, anything you guys want. We'll respond to your guys' tweets, comments, all that good stuff. So feel free to subscribe, follow, any of that, and interact. We'll talk football with you guys. I know Ezra, we were talking, chit-chatting here and there on Twitter this last week. So
yeah, David thinks
you guys
he's
can follow that.
He thinks he's going to beat me in the fantasy league. I mean, it's a joke, right? This guy's a comedian. This guy's a comedian on Twitter.
I'm a terrible comedian, so it must mean it's true that you're gonna get spanked in fantasy football. Didn't I destroy you that one time in your Yahoo league?
Destroy me?
I can't remember.
You didn't win anything. I'm just saying. You didn't win anything either, so it's all right. You did win. You did win. I rolled my ankle that week, so I couldn't get to the computer and do my lineup.
Oh.
But it's all right. It's okay. I gave you won. You won. Speaking about that, do I have the 11th pick? I think I got the 11th pick now, right? I don't know what pick I have.
No. Whoever was teams 11 and 12 got picks 11 and 12.
So I was 11 then. You said You said Bird Gang was the last one to sign up.
No, but Zach. No. There was Bird Gang and somebody, I can't remember the other person whose team name is like the McNutters or something.
The McNutters. I like that one, the McNutters.
But they got picks 11 and 12, and since I had slotted you in, I had sent you an invite before those guys, you were included in the randomization of whatever picks. So you might have pick 4, pick 2. I don't know what pick you have. You'd have to go check. I picked 9. I'm
going to end up number 1 anyway. Speaking about, I knew they're talking about, since we were talking about the Eagles and Titans a little bit, they're talking about Bradford's always injured, even in college. He got injured all the time. Well, they have Bradford, Wentz, and Chase Daniel. And Sports Talk saying, Wentz is the best one. He got hurt. That's one of the big news, right? From week 1, he got hurt. He's out for the rest of the preseason. Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he has a hairline fracture in his rib. He got hit, and he has a rib injury now. So that's definitely not something you want to see.
Nebraska do say they don't need 3 quarterbacks. Well, guess what? I think right now you're going to have to carry those 3
Right now,
quarterbacks.
they need 4. They might need 4. If Bradford's hurt, Wentz is hurt, Chase Daniel is your $7 million backup, which is astonishing. You might have to go out and get Colin Kaepernick once they cut him out in San Francisco. So, I don't know.
Well, speaking, who picked up San Francisco? They just picked up Ponder.
Christian Ponder.
Picked up Christian Ponder. So that'd be funny if he ends up the starting quarterback. He has a chance too. That's the funny part. Christian Ponder has a chance to be. You never know. I'm not hearing great things about Blake or your boy Cap.
Nope.
Ponder has a chance.
Nope. Look,
I'm not saying it's a
Blaine Gabbard's going to win this right now.
I'm not saying as much.
Blaine Gabbard's going to win the job. Colin Kaepernick hasn't thrown in over a week because
I don't think that's a gimme, man.
He has something's wrong with his arm or something. I'm hearing my voice is cracking. I'm hearing that they really like what they're seeing from Gabbard, and they signed Ponder as insurance in case Kaepernick isn't going to play, is going to get cut, whatever. That's all I know. I know they like Gabbard right now. That's their guy, and that's who's going to start week 1. Not Ponder. No way. You think they signed Ponder after week 1?
I've been reading that both of them have been bombing. They know. Think about it. It's Blaine, Gabbard, and Cap. It's not much you can really be confident in. So yes, I believe Ponder has a small. Christian Ponder's a bum. I am with you 100%. Okay, he is Chad Pennington without the smarts or the accuracy. He is a bum on the football field. I totally with that. But it's not like the competition ahead of him is all that. It's not like there's okay.
It's not, but for the fact that it's not even seniority, it's the fact of Blaine Gabbard has been there throughout the off-season programs. He's been there battling it with Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick is hurt, can't play, can't throw. Gabbard has shown a little bit of promise for them. He's the guy who's been able to, by management, be more of the puppet almost. And that's a bad word to kind of use, but Colin Kaepernick is not the guy who meshes very well with the GM and the coaches. Blaine Gabbard is more that guy who's going to mesh with them, and who has so far. Now, you signed Christian Ponder to a 1-year deal after the week 1 of preseason. You're telling me he's going to come in, learn the playbook, get on the same page with all the players on the offensive side of the ball, and develop this chemistry in 3 weeks before the season starts? I don't know about that.
No. What I'm telling you, I'm not saying all that. I just told you he's a bum. So there's no way I'm telling you all that. I'm telling you is the other 2 in front of him are also bums. That's what I'm telling you. Okay?
No, I agree. They're all bums.
I agree. They ain't nothing. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. I'm not saying any of this other stuff.
Out of all the bums, the best bum is Gabbard right now. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. It's a segue. Lead us into the next topic.
Wait, I got to open up the PDF file.
Uh-oh.
The next topic is I've been hearing a lot. Man, all right. There's been a lot. This player's been getting a lot of attention, a lot of hype, a lot of buzz, and a lot of people are in terms of fantasy. A lot of people are picking him in the top 10, and that is David Johnson from the Cardinals. So, David, do you believe the hype? Is he on your radar, especially in fantasy, to be one of your top picks? David Johnson, do you believe he can end up being one of the top 3, top 5 running backs in this league this year?
Yeah, I think it's possible. Now, I don't want to inflate the comments that the Cardinals general manager made, but he stated that David Johnson is the best receiving back he has ever seen, and that a lot of people on his coaching staff are comparing him to Marshall Faulk, and those coaches are coaches who had Faulk in Indianapolis, in Indy. So, and for those who don't remember, he did play in Indy before St. Louis. So it's an interesting kind of topic. Now, you can't even read into what I'm about to say here with Chef Bobby Flay taking him with his first overall pick last night in the whole ESPN fantasy thing. But he did take him first overall, which a lot of people are like, "Wow, you're crazy for doing that." But
if Chef Bobby Flay, is he from St. Louis?
I don't know.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna Google that just because that's the only way you would take this guy.
I don't know. Now people are saying he's overrated or he's not good enough.
Oh no, he's from New York. Oh, he's from New York City.
He's also a player who was a rookie last year. And for those people who really like to hound the numbers, oh, well, he didn't produce. He wasn't 1,000. Well, it's because he didn't start. Chris Johnson got some starts. Ellington got some starts. And then David Johnson kind of trickled in there, and he even contributed, I believe, on some special teams plays as well. He's an explosive runner. He does extremely well with the ball in his hands in an open field. And once he gets the ball in his hands, he's gone. He can make you miss, and he can score. So young back, has a lot of promise. I can see it happening. And the Cardinals is a team that doesn't have too many question marks. Especially, I think, on the offensive line. I think they've kind of have that for the most part covered. So if they can block for him, man, you know what? Man, there might be a case to make for David Johnson.
Well, David Johnson, I just looked up his stats. He had over 1,000 yards from the line of scrimmage, 581 on the ground with a 4.6 per carry, and he had 36 receptions for 457 yards, 12 average. So you could obviously see the potential there, and especially if he's going to be the lead back this year. But I don't know if I want to jump on that bandwagon of giving him all this hype. He has the potential. I guess I could see that. But what alarms me is the offense the Cardinals run. The Cardinals love to attack. They love to attack through the air. They have 3 wide receivers that are, very capable of doing damage. And I know they want to be more balanced, but I know Bruce Arians. He is just an aggressive guy. He's aggressive defensively. He's aggressive offensively, and that's how he approaches his team. So I don't know if David Johnson's going to get that many touches to justify, this hype right now. And can his body hold up to it? That's another thing. Being that lead guy, getting over 300 to 400 touches. Is he going to be that kind of guy? I don't know if he's going to get that many overall. But, yeah, I guess, in fantasy terms, I would definitely take him in the second round, especially how, running backs are valued nowadays. Most teams have backs by committee. And I think the Cardinals will also do some form of that by committee. So that's my thing. But the big potential here is his receptions. That's what made Marshall Faulk so special, right? He's basically a wide receiver. And I don't know if David Johnson's that. I don't think you could line him up at wide receiver like you did with Marshall Faulk and throw him the ball. But, yeah, I would take a chance on David Johnson, but not in the first round. Maybe the second, definitely in the third in fantasy football.
But he's not going to be there in the second or the third.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. For me, it obviously all depends on the position and where you're drafting and what's going on. If you're maybe since I'm the 11th pick in the draft, depending what receivers are there, because I imagine most of the top 5 running backs are going to be gone. I would imagine that. I would possibly look at it right there.
I don't know. A lot of guys down in the FanDuel comment box are not high on David Johnson. I'd say I'm a little bit higher on him than they are. And And the team has been successful, especially in the last 2 years. The Cardinals have been a very successful team. They've had 8 losses in the regular season the last 2 years combined. They went 13-3 last year and 11-5 the year before. This team knows how to win, especially with Bruce Arians coming in and coaching that team. They've shown that progress. They've shown that the success that he can come in and lead that team to really turn he turned that franchise around, I thought.
Oh, yes, he did. You know,
so yeah.
by mentality standpoint, the one thing I want to say about David Johnson is he had 12 touchdowns last year. 12 touchdowns and limited action. So that's as a rookie and limited action too. So that's one thing you're like, wow, okay. Even if he has, even if he's the lead guy this year and he has 12 touchdowns, you're happy with that. So he had a lot of touchdowns last year in limited time. So that's another thing that makes you go, man, David Johnson. So I understand the hype. I just don't know if I'm going to – I would like to see performance, from guys that haven't been, highly touted that much for the last couple of years. I got to see performances over a year or 2, 3, 2-3 years.
That's how I usually do it as well.
Except like a talent like Todd Gurley. I'm taking him in the top 5, especially with a coach like Jeff Fisher who loves running the ball. Todd Gurley to me is a top 5 pick, and I don't know why I'm telling you guys because I'm in the draft with you guys, but Todd Gurley.
You have the 7th. You have the 7th overall pick according to Super Hippo.
And since I'm going to be in dynasty leagues this year too, Todd Gurley's my number 1 rated player in dynasty.
Over Antonio Brown.
Number 1 rated dynasty player has got to be Todd Gurley.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. He's very young, very talented, but with the shelf life on running backs in a dynasty league, does that still make sense?
No, because he's only played 1 year. So if he gives me 4 to 5 excellent years, I'm happy. Javi said, dynasty. What about Odell Beckham? Odell Beckham will probably be in my top 3-4 players in dynasty. What is he? 23 years old. He's got a quarterback that's going to be there for another 3-4 years. Who's going to get him the ball? Odell Beckham Jr. Yes, I think he's easily a top 5 dynasty player.
I've never done a dynasty league, but I've always kind of wanted to because I feel like I'd be good at that. But I just haven't had that opportunity. So, there's one last big major topic that kind of happened, I thought, during this last week. Is the NFL announcing that the 4 players named in the Al Jazeera report, being Clay Matthews, Julius Peppers, Mike Neal, and James Harrison, they've been told that they have until the 25th of August to speak to the NFL about these allegations. And if they don't speak to the NFL, they're going to receive suspensions from the league in regards to the PED allegations. Now, should the players talk? Whose advice should the players take on this? And should the Players Association step in to help these players avoid being suspended? There's kind of a lot of things going on right now. Now, one of them being Mike Neal, who is a free agent. We can maybe more focus on the 3 players who are on a football team, being Clay Matthews, Julius Peppers, and James Harrison.
So basically, your Packers players.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's odd because I was thinking about this. They're all defensive players, and more importantly, they're all pass rushers. I haven't seen the Al Jazeera report myself. I think they came out with it. I don't even know how long ago now, which it also included Peyton Manning. But if the player really didn't do anything, if you were the player, and the league said, hey, you have until the 25th to come out, or we're suspending you, and if you know in your heart that you really did not do anything, wouldn't you just go and talk to them as soon as you could?
It's not always that easy, David, because I'm a union guy. I
want to get your opinion on this.
Hey, remember when I told you about the phone situation with Tom Brady and all that? Well, it looks suspicious when Tom Brady this and that. I said, and I asked you, and I asked everyone at your job, would you sell your cell phone? Absolutely not. You could go sleep on that. My manager asked me for my cell phone. So I'm a union guy. I'm going to think in those terms. Just because a management wants to talk to me on speculation does not mean, I should just oblige, because guess what? That means you're setting a precedent for future conversations about assumptions and speculation. And I don't want to set that precedent. But in this case, your union, the NFL Players Union, were the idiots to allow Roger Goodell and the NFL management to have the power to suspend you on speculation. Basically what happened to Tom Brady and Deflategate. Speculation is the reason why Tom Brady is missing 4 games this year, because they don't have the proof. They haven't proven anything. All speculation. But you given him that power, Roger Goodell, and it was backed up in the courts to allow Roger Goodell to suspend you on speculation. So you really have no choice here but to talk to him, because you're going to get suspended if you don't, because your union was stupid enough to agree to this. So I will call my union, curse them out for once again allowing this, and the players deserve, some of this too, because guess what? You voted for the contract when you should have told the union, no, we don't want this. Bite the bullet, do the interview. This is your fault. Next CBA, you know what to do. Make sure the NFL does not have the power to suspend you on speculation. This is your fault. Now live with it.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. But with you saying that you wouldn't talk to your manager about your cell phone or what have you.
Hell no. You ain't seen my cell phone. You out of your mind.
Nothing to hide. I would clear my name.
No, it's not about that. It's not about that.
Well, I mean, if you really truly have nothing to hide, get your name out of the media, get your name out of the negative light, or however you want to word that. Sound weird. Out of the negativity or whatever. The people as a PED user. If you didn't do it, hey, NFL, I didn't do it. Here's this, and that. Here's the information you need. Here's the information you want. I don't appreciate you guys wasting my time because I'm prepping for the NFL season, but I will comply. Here's what you need to know. Bada bing, bada boom, you're done. And NFL. The NFL has come out to say that Clay Matthews is free to go. Clay Matthews didn't use PADs. He's done. That's it. We don't have to talk about him anymore.
My thing is this. That's simple. No, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. My thing will be, don't we have tests for this? This is if you
test for what?
For PEDs. If you're Roger Goodell, David, and you say, hey, interview me, I'll be like, don't you have guys coming around and test me already? Why I got to give you an interview for? My test said negative. That's all you need. My test said negative. Leave me alone. Why I got to waste my time when you already set protocol and, testing, and mine's coming up negative? What you worried about? Leave me the hell alone. You're wasting my time. I'm not setting that precedent. I'm already testing and I'm already negative, why I got to do an interview? Why I got to give you more proof? You're bothering me, son. That's it. Have they tested positive?
I don't know.
Have they tested positive?
No, not to my knowledge, but
okay.
There's still players who are coming.
And that should be end of discussion right there.
Of the league is taking some sort of PED. If that's true, 75 to 80% of the league uses some sort of PED or whatever that goes under the radar or isn't being tested for.
If I do not come up positive, you should not be talking to me. That should be end of the story. But the Players Association made a bad move by giving him the power to suspend you on speculation. So it's their fault. I'm blaming the NFL Players Association for this. And I'm saying the players have to go through this because their union messed up. But overall, it's wrong because, like I said, if it says negative, you should not be bothering me.
Yes.
You talk to me exactly. Anytime I've ever got in trouble at work, because Ezra's not a saint, and they come up to me and says, "Ezra, what's up? Where's the proof? You heard this? You see what? Did you see it? What? Where's this coming from? Unless you got me on tape, you got some paperwork, you got some evidence. Guess what? You ain't got nothing."
And that's not how it's going to work in this situation.
I know that's how it's going to work because, someone, the guys is, they're paying union dues too. Then conduct themselves the right way in negotiations.
Next time. Next CBA. That's what they're saying. Next time. We'll do it in, when's it up? 2020, 2021?
Yeah, I think it's in a few years. It's only like a 5-year, 6-year contract. Am I right? I believe so.
No. Wasn't it 10?
I don't remember how long.
Didn't they get it done in 2011? Because that was the year that Cam Newton got drafted.
I don't know. Let me see.
He wasn't able to report to rookies weren't able to report to camp or something like that because the CBA was still being worked on and all. It was a mess. And then they got it done. It was a 10-year CBA. So I think it's up in 2021. So we're halfway through. I don't know. It's a little too much for my language, my lingo.
Oh, I can't. I'm trying to find the specifics, the breaking down, how long this is going to be. I can't find it right now. Ohio Pats fan, what's up, bro? Haven't seen you in a while. I think he was here. He came late to one of the shows the past weeks. He brought up, I know this is not NFL, he brought up UFC 202 before. He said, did anyone see that conference? I did not see the conference, but I did hear about there was a water fight, basically a water bottle fight in the McGregor and Nate Diaz conference.
Yeah, I heard
of it
too. What about this question? I think this is the most important.
You're right. You're right. There is 10 years of labor peace because that's how long the agreement is. 10 years. You're right. And there's no out clause in the deal.
Was it in 2011 that they got that done?
This article I'm looking at says 2011, so I believe so.
Yeah. I thought I remember that correctly. You imagine being a lawyer or whatever, whoever has to put all that together for the NFL. You imagine how much money you get paid to do that?
Oh, the lawyers, the lawyers love it. Lawyers love it.
Man.
What was it, Ted Wells? Well, how much did he get paid? $5 million to do the report for the Deflategate? It was like $5 million.
About a deflated football, man.
$5 million for Ted Wells.
Come on. $5 million? I could have wrote a book report about that and released it to everybody, and I did do it for $10.
$5 million.
Man.
When the union could have, and the union spent Tom Brady and the union spent the union spent big money defending Tom Brady, and because of their stupid language they let in the contract, they lost in the end.
Yeah, but whose money really got wasted in the end?
Well, that's the union money, the players' money. That's the
Nope.
That's the players' money. Yes.
Whose money got wasted?
The players' money.
Money and your money. Taxpayers' money to go to court.
Oh, well, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the lawyers. Pay for the lawyers. But yeah, the taxpayers' money got
lawyers, whatever. Yeah, pay the lawyers. Tom Brady, he's not even the richest person in his household.
Well, he didn't have to pay for it. The Players Association paid for it, and which comes from the players' union dues. I mean, in fact, I think there's a defend fund. So there's a defend fund besides the union dues. So That's what probably paid for it. The defend fund inside the union bylaws.
I've been trying to get to this question, Ezra. You ready for it?
What's this question? Let's do it.
Important question of the night. All right.
I know, of course, it's the most important.
I hope we have a lot of the guys who are in the fantasy, because. So sorry. This is regarding that. Now, it's not a matter of if this player gets drafted in the Wake Up It's Football Fantasy League. It's a matter of when. Okay? When does, or I should say, what round does Marvin McNutt get drafted?
If people were smart, obviously, first round, first pick, legend, the GOAT. And I've already stated this to you on Twitter, and I'm going to tell everybody else live right now. If I get Marvin McNutt, he is not available for trade. Plain and simple. He's just not available for trade.
I don't know, man. That's going to be a little hard. There's a guy who already has a team named after Marvin McNutt. So,
But if I had to take a guess, Marvin McNutt gets drafted in the 10th round.
10th round, that early.
10th round.
All right. Well, I'm going to be realistic. I say he gets drafted in the last round. And no, I'm going to say he gets drafted in the second to last round by somebody just because. Just because, man. Greatest of all time, Marvin McNutt. Still haven't gotten him on the show, but he did follow us. Or I know he followed me on Twitter. We might still have to get him on. Get him in a Google Hangout. Be like, hey, yo, Marvin, what you been up to? I think he works for Yellow Pages now.
Yellow Pages? I don't.
I'm serious.
I know he was talking about some. He was talking about some football camp the other day. I don't know if he was training or what.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna check his Twitter right now. Let me check Marvin McNutt's Twitter.
Making a comeback. Got to have the Rocky music in the background.
Of course, I'm following. That's right. Twitter got it. Check mark right next to it. It says NFL dad to 3. Go Hawks. McNutt football hashtag. McNutt football. That's what hashtag McNutt football. That's what that's his hashtag.
That might have to be my fantasy football name.
Hashtag McNutt football.
McNutt football. That's a good name. I might have to go change because I haven't thought of one yet. So my team right now is just my name.
It says, well, he put a tweet. He said, for football training anywhere in Iowa, go to mcnuttfootball.com, send me an email, and let's get to work. So maybe he's becoming a personal trainer? Oh, he has a website called McNutt Football.
Yes.
Ready to take your game to a whole new level? Learn from the legend.
Yes!
That's what it... Learn from the legend. Marvin McNutt, founder/CEO. Marvin McNutt is the CEO of McNutt Football. He is the NCAA NFL strategic skills coach and consultant.
Ooh, man, that sounds awesome. I might have to go join.
That's how you do it. You got to just go to Iowa, man. That's it. Learn from the legend.
Iowa.
That's how you do it.
Who the hell lives in Iowa? Man, apparently one of the greatest of all time. Marvin McNutt lives in Iowa. Who would have thought?
Everyone should know. Everyone should have thought. This is Marvin McNutt. There's no football without Marvin McNutt.
Marvin McNutt is football. It's true. It's too bad he's not on a team anymore, though. You know what I need to do? I need to buy a Marvin McNutt jersey. That's what I need to do. What teams did he play for? He played for the Panthers. Wasn't it the Redskins? Let me see. Marvin McNutt. NFL. Did he have a wiki page? Wikipedia? Yeah, here it is. Marvin McNutt, 2009 season. Or is this his college? Eagles, Dolphins, and Panthers. McNutt was drafted by the Eagles in the 6th round in the 2012 draft. McNutt was claimed off waivers by the Dolphins in May of 2013, released in August of 2013. He signed with the Panthers on October 9th and was released August. So he did play he was on the Panthers for a little bit. If I had a choice between the Eagles, Dolphins, and Panthers, which McNutt jersey should I get?
Or repeat that: Panthers, Eagles,
and Dolphins.
Oh my God! No, I'm a Jets fan, so no Dolphins.
I think a Panthers McNutt jersey would look pretty cool.
Even though they have some pretty cool colors.
I got to figure out what number he was, and then like go and order it from some bootleg Chinese website, because I'm not paying $200 for a Marvin McNutt jersey.
Anyway. I would imagine they don't cost very much if they even sell them.
Right. But still, have it customized. What would you like it to say on the back of your jersey? McNutt, number 14, Carolina Panthers. Let me get it. $30. Thanks, China. You know what, though? Ohio Pats fan just reminded me of something. He said he was so glad that he was there for the original McNutt Red Zone Blitz, which has me thinking, because I still have every episode up in a playlist for the Red Zone Blitz. We got to go back in the archives and find the first ever Red Zone Blitz episode where we talked about Marvin McNutt. That'd be a project right there, to sift through all those videos and figure out which one was the first one. It'd be fun. Probably run across a lot of old jokes. But yeah, that'd be interesting.
McNutt, the legend. Oh, and my Madden franchise 7. Oh, speaking of Madden's coming out next week. Please let me know in the chat who's getting that Madden franchise. I mean, that new Madden 17, and for what system. Let me know in the chat box. I'm thinking about getting it for my PS4.
I'm thinking about it too, but I'm still undecided about Madden. I don't know. Might be that. If I don't, I might get FIFA. If I don't, I don't know. I might just not get either. I'm still undecided on what I want to do with those. But anyway, we had to throw some Marvin McNutt in there. A couple of league news and notes. A couple of things. Bengals 4th round rookie defensive tackle Andrew Billings will miss the 2016 season with a torn meniscus. Many thought he could go as early as the 1st round in this last draft. Had the talent coming out of Baylor, so that's kind of an unfortunate injury for the Cincinnati Bengals. And then the Baltimore Ravens linebacker Terrell Suggs is back on the field practicing after missing the 2015 season with a torn Achilles. So that's kind of good news for the Ravens. They get a veteran, they get a leader, they get a huge defensive monster back on the field in Terrell Suggs at linebacker. So that's good news for the Baltimore Ravens. If you're a Ravens fan, I'm sure you're very happy to hear that. But we have a little bit of time left, about a half hour, a little less.
Black Mama say he's getting Madden 17 on PS4. I should know this because I whooped your butt on Madden 16 for PS4. How about you? You're not going to bring that up, Black Mamba? I trashed him in Madden. He was talking a lot of smack, and I laid the smack down. He picked his Patriots, I picked my Jets, and I won.
Wow. Black Mamba, what do you got to say about that, man? Put in the comment below. I want to see some trash talking. I want to see some what is it? The golly, MMA, the thing you guys were talking about earlier. The water fight.
The McGregor and Nate Diaz, he was throwing water bottles at each other at a conference between I was hearing about this on the radio, and they were saying that they were throwing the water bottles, and there were people like the press and fans between them, like someone could have got hit.
Raider Hazard. Can Carr, Cooper, and Murray be a top 5 triplets this year?
What?
He's asking the combination at wide receiver, running back, and quarterback for the Raiders being Derek Carr.
I remember mentioning this last year, the Raider Hazard, that they have the young. If you're happy you have this triple threat at a young age too, because all of them are young. You got Murray, Cooper, and Carr, young.
I love them. I love all
amazing.
three.
Are they the best?
No. He's asking top 5.
Top 5. I think they could be a top 5.
I think so too. I think they have that potential to be top 5. I like what they did last year, even though they weren't. I thought as productive as they could be. And I don't know if they need 1 year. I know I see in the comment box, I think Sports Talk with Starkey says that the Raiders need 1 more year. I think I disagree with that. I think the Raiders could crack that drought that they've had for such a long time making the playoffs. I think they could do it this year.
I think they could, but I don't think it's a gimme.
It's not a gimme, but the talent is finally there for them to do it.
Okay, so let's think about the top triple threats in the NFL then. Okay, I like this question. I will have to look at the standings right now to think of the teams, top triple threats in the league.
I don't know. I mean,
does it have to be? All right, I don't know if I'm cheating by using Grunk, but the Patriots, Brady, Grunk, and Lewis.
No, Deion Lewis is not proven enough to be in that conversation.
Wow.
He's not proven enough. He's not.
Well, the number 1 triple threat.
Gronk isn't even a receiver. He's a tight end.
The number 1 triple threat, no one's taking him, is the Steelers.
Oh, no, that is the triple threat.
That is the number 1 triple threat in the league. Yes. Okay. You got Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell.
Yes. That is the epitome of the triple threat.
You got 3 guys that's top 3 at their position. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Le'Veon could be 1. Antonio's 1. Ben Roethlisberger's 3.
The Bengals?
No.
Dalton. They have 2 running backs they use, and AJ Green.
I'd say no.
Oh man,
I mean, you're talking 32 teams. You got to keep it. You got to go. Let's do it. Keep going down the list.
How many you talk about? You look at the list. It's tough.
Browns, no. Ravens, no. They don't have a running back. They don't really have.
I'm gonna put the Bengals up there, man. I'm not saying they're top 5. I'm saying triple threats out there. Can't say Cowboys. Romo, Des Bryant, Ezekiel Elliott. Though he's unproven, but you could put Run DMC in there.
Unproven. What about the Packers? Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Eddie Lacy.
Your boy Eddie Lacy. You're talking about unproven. Your boy Eddie Lacy was slopping around, looking like a sloppy Joe.
I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm asking you.
He had all the cheese all over the field, and you want to ask me questions. You say no to the Bengals, but no, I'm gonna. Eddie Lacy. They could be. They have the potential because Rodgers and their receivers are so good. I want to say yes because Rodgers and Nelson is so good that you could just put anybody at running back and it's a triple threat.
What about the Chiefs? Alex Smith, Macklin.
Hell no, you already stopped it.
Hold on, man.
Give it
Let
up.
me finish my sentence.
Give it up. You got the wrong triple threat. You got
Jamal Charles.
You got Jamal Charles, West, and West. And no, not Alex Smith.
Think about it.
I just thought about it. I almost vomited as soon as you said it when you put Alex Smith into that. Okay. Did you say Atlanta Falcons?
No, but do you think Devonta Freeman is gonna be the same Devonta Freeman from last year?
I don't think so, but I'm saying you can't take away what he did last year.
And
Matt Ryan was the weak point last year. He was the weak point. But when you have Julio Jones, who's arguably the best wide receiver in football now,
that's tough. I mean, that's a tough one.
Okay.
Who else? Saints? Nah.
Yeah.
Panthers?
It was the Saints. You could say the Saints. Mark Ingram.
About Cam Newton.
Well, wait. Don't forget about the Saints. Because you still got, even though they haven't done anything last couple, you got Breeze, Mark Ingram, who's very good, very underrated. I think Mark Ingram is very underrated.
Who at receiver?
Huh?
And who at receiver?
Yep. What do you the guy that goes long all the time. Cooks. There we go, Cooks.
He's more of a slot guy.
No, it doesn't matter. Wes Welker was a slot guy for a lot of years, and he was dominant. You could be a dominant slot guy. I
like the Raiders still. People are not putting the Raiders down in the comments. I still think the Raiders are young. All of them are young.
I think they could be I think they definitely could be a top 5 triple threat this year. Easy. I think they could definitely be up there. That would not surprise me if they're in the top 3 of triple threats. Steelers number 1, and it's a toss-up after that. Am I right?
Yeah. Steelers are 1. And if Bell wasn't suspended for the first 4 games, it would be Steelers 1, Steelers 2, and Steelers 3, and then the next 2 teams at 4 and 5.
I would say the Patriots are up there too. You don't want to put the most dominant force.
We're talking about receivers. We're not talking about tight ends.
He's basically a receiver, bro.
Consider him a receiver. Then who the hell do they have at running back?
I told you, Dion
Lewis has not played for more than in 8 games in a season.
So what? Everybody thinks David Johnson's gonna be that.
I disagree.
That boss.
I disagree.
I think you put the Patriots up there.
I disagree.
It don't matter who's that running back. The Patriots are gonna do their thing.
Yeah, it's because they have 6 running backs on their roster. That's the beauty of Bill Belichick and his coaching and how he just schemes around.
Sports Talk says I think Seahawks could be up there.
Rawls unproven.
And I heard that that
showed promise, but unproven still.
I heard Ross is not even the gimme starting running back over there.
Yeah, wasn't there another? What was the name?
Christian Michael or something? Or Michael?
No, it's not. It's not Michael.
I'm telling you.
I had the luxury of interviewing. It's not Michael.
I've heard some. You look it up. I want you guys to Google Seahawks starting running back for this year.
Yeah, look up their depth. It's not. It'll probably be Rawls. Most likely, unless Marshawn Lynch comes back. But doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even say his last name? CJ.
Prosy?
Prosy?
I have no idea, man.
Yeah, but that's who we're talking about. Steelers.
What? Super Hillbills out of you. Come on.
Seahawks, Pats, and Colts all have better triple.
Yeah, the Colts don't even have a running back.
They have Frank Gore.
No, they have no running back. You want me to say that again?
I'm just saying that's who they have.
No, I'm just saying they have no running back. The Colts have no running back.
Golly. I don't know. That's.
Thank you, Ohio Pabs fan. That's why I'm going with the Patriots. You got to put Grunk is that special. Okay, and if we're gonna go that
anomaly,
and then you could go with the Panthers too. You could go with Cam Newton, Stewart, Greg Olsen, or Calvin Benjamin, who should be back, and ready to and rock and roll this year. Right? Panthers. You could put the Panthers up there.
I said the Panthers.
I know that, but I'm saying you can include the tight end with Greg Olsen.
No, I was thinking Kelvin Benjamin.
The Seahawks can have, if Jimmy Graham, if they pan out, Jimmy Graham, Rawls, and Wilson.
What? Jimmy Graham fell off the face of the earth
as soon as he went to the Seahawks.
I mean, and you want to talk about earlier, us talking about the Titans trading Dorial Green-Beckham. The Saints must have known something. Because I don't know.
No,
if
I think it has more to do. I think it has more to do with the Seahawks.
That's the thing, though. Is it more to do with the Seahawks
Yes.
schematically being different, or did they trade Graham because they knew somehow he was going to be on a decline?
No, I just think it's the Seahawks offense. Put Jimmy Graham on the Colts. Put Jimmy Graham on another team that's a through the air attack. You know, the Seahawks are very balanced. They love to run the ball too. And you know what? This year he might be more of a weapon because towards the end of last year, or middle towards the end, the Seahawks started to go through the air a little bit more often.
When did they trade? When did they trade for him?
Almost 2 years now, right?
Was that in the middle of the season? For
I think it was. Yes.
Hunger and a first-round pick. Yeah, I thought it was.
And I think Jimmy Graham is young too. He's still young, if I remember correctly.
He's youngish, younger, but still like.
He's 29.
Yeah, I don't know. Tight ends, some tight ends do have that longevity. You know, Heath Miller, Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. They can still be older in the league, but Jimmy Graham.
Oh man, it says Jimmy Graham might be out for season opener.
Well, whatever, one game.
Well,
one game, Mr. Ezra.
I know it's one game, but the point is the guy's been out for more than one straight game.
Jason Witten, yeah. Jason Witten is another one. Yeah, they can still age, you know, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how his career continues. Been on for an hour and about 20 minutes now. We got a couple minutes left. Haven't eaten dinner or anything. Haven't eaten since lunch. I'm kind of hungry. Might have to go get some food.
So all I had was salad for lunch, man. It was a spinach salad with mushrooms, black olives, onions. That's all I remember.
I had
oil vinegar
today at work. I had pizza and some taco salad. And,
wait, what kind of pizza though? Just a regular cheese slice?
Pepperoni pizza. Pepperoni and sausage.
Since you guys are so close to Chicago, do you guys also dabble in the deep dish?
There's some spots around. That do deep dish, but God, what was the name? I went down to Chicago, I'd say 3 years ago, and had some Chicago deep dish pizza. It wasn't Germano's. What the hell was it? It was, let me look up, see if I can find the name. It was something famous-er down in Chicago that everybody always talks about, but I can't remember what the name of the place was. It's not Germano's. It was something. I'd have to figure it out. It was okay. I'm not a big fan of the sauce being on top. I like the cheese on top.
Okay.
What's New York? They do thin style, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we do, thin style, man. That's what we're famous for, thin style.
If I had to choose, I think I go thin. I don't know about deep dish. I don't know if deep dish is my style.
I've never had deep dish. I do want to try it, so don't think I'm just a straight New Yorker that believes, hey, only thin sliced pizza is the way to go. Even though I do love some thin sliced pizza. I even love thin crust. Thin, very thin crust pizza is very good. But I'm down to try some deep dish.
I love thin crust pizza because of the crunch, man. Crunch is so underrated. But on that same note, when you get that pizza with the softer crust, that kind of just the taste of the bread and your top 10 easy.
Wait. Did Jared Mayo, he got traded to the Cardinals, correct?
No, that was what's his name?
Where did Jared Mayo go again?
Chandler Jones.
Excuse me. All right. I'm sorry. Chandler Jones, yes.
Did we even talk about week 1 preseason standouts? Not really. Dak Prescott was one of them. Everybody's, oh, man, Dak Prescott taking over the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Romo, you're out of here. we got a new quarterback in town who isn't fat and breaking his clavicle every 3 weeks.
Thank you, guys.
Prescott.
They're telling me Jerry Mayo retired. Yeah, I just mixed it up. I know somebody went to the Cardinals. It was Chandler Jones, yes.
Who else stood out in preseason week 1?
Yeah, what Canadian football players stood out to you guys? Talking about this crap. Preseason standouts. Are you serious? There's always somebody standing out in preseason, and guess what? Week 1, they do nothing.
Giordano's. Might be Giordano's. Hold on. How do you spell it?
You got David excited with Giordano's.
I think it's Giordano's. Because we have a Germano's. Yes, it was Giordano's. Who said who
gets that Super Hippo gets that clutch.
Super Hippo coming in with the clutch. Is Super Hippo, you from Chicago, or have you been there and eaten there? I want to know. I'm curious now. Giordano's, Chicago's famous stuffed deep dish pizza. There it is. Founded in February 1974. Yeah, if you go to if you type in Giordano's on Google, and if you go to images, oh man, I just talked a lot of smack about deep dish pizza, but man, does that look good. I'm still not a deep dish guy though. I can't do the sauce on top. That's just not. It's not normal to me. It's like wake up, it's hockey. It's not. That's not how it is. It's not wake up, it's high. It's wake up, it's football. You don't eat deep dish pizza. You don't eat the.
You better license that. You better trademark wake up with. Someone's gonna come out with a wake up with hockey. Wake up with it's basketball.
You know what? I'm going to. I'm going to. And I heard somebody the other day telling me that the NFL Network is doing something with wake up. There's something. I gotta go look into that. Sue them. Get my money.
You better trademark it real soon. ASAP. Like the Red Zone. Remember we saw like a Red Zone something? Red Zone Blitz?
Somebody said, oh, I forgot his name, who was on YouTube. He's like, oh, I'm going to do a Red Zone channel. Everybody's doing Red Zone. I'm going to do the Red Zone. I was like, listen, man, nobody's doing the Red Zone. You're the only one doing it because you saw that I'm doing it. You got to change the name.
Well, is this you? I hope this is you. There's a forum page called redzoneblitz.boards.net.
That's not me.
There you go. Okay, there's another one that says this one's a financial thing. It says Red Zone, take the opportunity blitz.
Get the hell out of here. There's only one Red Zone Blitz, and this is the Red Zone Blitz right here with Dave, with Ezra, with Marvin McNutt, with the boot, and with everybody in the FanDuel comment box. That's the only Red Zone Blitz you need. And it's coming to you 4 years strong, baby.
That's right. It's funny. There's a couple of them out here. What it says the Red Zone Blitz featuring your executive VP of sales, Mr. Horton Bugs.
Whoa.
Woo, Mr. Horton Bugs. The Washington, D.C. area.
If you type in Red Zone Blitz, though, it's us that come up first, right?
We come up actually second.
Ooh.
Behind the forum page.
The forum? It's a forum called
it's called redzoneblitz.boards.net. We
got to change that. We got to get that down.
For some reason, when you Google Red Zone Blitz, we're a video, and it says from February 3rd. So that's the first thing that comes up. Forgot McNutt. I never ever to forget. I never forget McNutt.
I said McNutt. You didn't even have to press rewind. I said me as McNutt, the boot, and everybody in the comments section.
Sebastian said there's a place in Brooklyn that's pretty good. All right, I'm in New York City. I'm gonna have to check out this place.
L&B Spumoni's Sicilian.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Spumoni. I like the name Spumoni. Everybody thinks I'm Italian anyway. Where I live. They used to be called Little Italy, with all the.
Do you love Italian food?
Oh, I love Italian. I love all kinds of food, but
yesterday I had a chicken marsala. Oh,
Yeah, that's good too. They used to come through the St. Lawrence River from the Atlantic Ocean all the way through all the Great Lakes and down through Lake Michigan and come to where I live, and dock and make families, all that. Italians and the Germans, top two. So there's a lot of Italians, and every time I go, I used to go to the IA, the Italian American Club, and every time I'd walk in,
You used to talk to all the Italian
point at me
honeys.
like this. This says, "Hey,
All the Italian honeys
What-
David talks to.
what family you from?" It's like, "What do you mean, what family I'm from?" It's like, you a Storino?" I said, "No, I'm not a Storino." I know you know, and
You're a
it's
Storino, yo. You're a Storino.
not a Storino. I'm not Italian. And the lady, the second time I went there, one of the ones, I don't know if they own the place or whatever, she pointed. She does the same thing. She's pointing at you. She's giving you the eyes. Hey, where are you from? You from Sicily? Your family from Sicily? You look Sicilian. No, I'm not Sicilian. I promise you I'm not Sicilian.
I'm sorry, Dave. I've never looked at you and say, hey, this guy's Italian.
I've gotten a lot. I've gotten Italian. I've gotten Hawaiian before. I've gotten Mexican. I've got all kinds of stuff, man. I've gotten a lot.
I've only gotten very few. I've gotten Middle Eastern a lot of times, but
Yeah?
especially when I grow the facial hair. That's about it. That's about it because I guess they see my name, Ezra, because they don't know how to pronounce my name. They call me Israel. Yeah, Israel? No, it's Ezra. Israel? No, Ezra. 2 times in my life, someone called me Adrian from Ezra. I don't know how you get Adrian from Ezra, but believe me, I didn't even try to correct them because it makes no sense. I gave up right there. Okay, I'm Adrian.
Adrian. Oh man, I that's a funny name. I usually associate that name with women.
It is. That's what, I only met Adrians that are females, but oh well,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Adrian, that's funny. Anyway, off topic. We got a couple minutes left. I'm gonna shout out everybody who is in the comment box. Zachification Sports Talk with Starkey, Sebastian, Super Hippo, Ohio Pats fan, Javi, everybody else who came in. And Zachification says, Dave, you must be Italian. I promise you I'm not Italian. I promise.
I promise you.
I promise you I'm not Italian. But it's funny because some people don't even have any clue what I am. So it'll be a mystery. Ezra, any last thoughts?
Just tell them you're Jamaican. Just tell them.
I'm Chinese.
You're Jamaican. Yeah, I saw you. I saw your snap. You were excited for Bolt to win the race. You were going crazy. You had the flag around you. You had the Jamaican flag.
They're throwing things out there. I'm not Armenian. I'm not Ethiopian. I'm from Antarctica.
Well, I want to give a shout out to these wonderful people in the chat room as always. Zach, Jaffe, Sports Talk, Bird Gang came in. Ohio Pats fan, even though he's a Patriots fan. I don't know. What are you doing? You seem. You know what? Ohio Pats fan seems like a respectable, nice man. Who's got his head on straight, good head on his shoulders, and he's a Patriots fan. I don't understand. How do you associate? How does that happen? What made you become a Patriots fan? Who the hell grows up wanting to be a Patriots fan? They're a bunch of cheaters. They were a bunch of losers before the Brady era.
They had 0 Super Bowls before Brady. Can you remember? They had 0. They had nothing. They had nothing to their name.
Yeah, we had your best player of all time, Curtis Martin, okay? He was a Jet. He ended his career as a Jet and became a Hall of Famer as a Jet. Patriots. Even Raiders Hazard is laughing because Patriots fan? Kiss the no
Black
need to.
Mama got you there.
Just remember, the Jets won the most important Super Bowl in the history of NFL, and we're undefeated in the Super Bowl. Stop losing to the Giants, Black Mamba.
All right, it's 9:30. I got to go get some food. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Dave, Ezra from Idiot Ezra. Hit us up on Twitter.
It is what it is. Thank you, guys.
Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you guys hopefully next week on the Red Zone Blitz. We're out. That's a wrap.